Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly Pop Culture Wrap-Up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly Pop Culture Wrap-Up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. In fact, this week, all comic book news. Let's get right into it. Sinister War. What is Sinister War? Well, it's a Spider-Man event coming up in July from Marvel Comics. It's going to be 6 issues long, written by Nick Spencer, with artwork by Mark Bagley, covers by Brian Hitch. It seems like an interesting enough idea. You know how I feel about the Nick Spencer run on Spider-Man. This is obviously going to have some kind of tie-in to the ongoing Kindred story. It was set up at the end of the last issue, which came out this last week, of Amazing Spider-Man. The basic premise of this is that Doc Ock has his Sinister Six, but the Vulture has his Savage Six. So it's the war of the Sinister Sixes. That seems like a cool idea, but I'm very wary of this because it is tied up into all of the Nick Spencer, Kindred, Spider-Man stuff that's just been going on. Now here lately, the book has been pretty solid, but I'm just taking that with a grain of salt, because you know this is a 6-issue series with a whole bunch of tie-ins into Amazing Spider-Man, and y'all, you think they're gonna miss a chance to give us some point BS issues? Anyway, we'll see what happens, right? Symbiote SpiderMan Crossroads, yet another 80s era set Symbiote Spider-Man book by artist Greg Land and writer Peter David. This one's got a little bit of a more interesting take on it because it involves Symbiote Spider-Man going up against the Hulk. Now, we know that Peter David at that time was writing the Hulk, so that's going to be something that he can really sink his teeth into, and something I'm really excited to check out, even though typically I've not been the biggest fan of the Symbiote Spider-Man. Amazing Fantasy is a new 5-issue series debuting from Marvel in July. It's going to be written and illustrated by Care Andrews. Now, of course, Amazing Fantasy was the book that, on its last issue, 15, created Spider-Man, introduced him to the world, and changed Marvel Comics history and just fictional history for the rest of all time, right? So Amazing Fantasy is an interesting enough concept, though, doing something completely different with it. The story is like Red Room, Black Widow, World War II Captain America, Teenage Spider-Man, different iterations of these heroes throughout their histories, plucked out of time and put onto this fantasy island, almost an amazing fantasy island. It's a cool enough concept for a 5-issue series with Care Andrews attached to it. I'm interested enough to check it out because Erratic from AWA, which is about to wrap up by Care Andrews, was absolutely phenomenal. Over at DC, we got Superman, Son of Kal-El, debuting in July. This is written by Tom Taylor with artwork by John Timms. So this is replacing the Superman title. So Action Comics will continue to exist, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Will be focusing on the Superman that most of us know and love, Kal-El, out in space doing his thing, but Jonathan is now the Superman of Earth. This is something they've been teasing for a while, and with Tom Taylor attached to it, I'm very, very excited. This is the biggest project he's had yet so far, along with his current Batman miniseries. Tom Taylor has just been doing amazing work lately. Deceased was phenomenal. Nightwing, 2 issues in, is freaking fantastic, and a near classic run already if it continues the pace set. So I'm excited for this. Jonathan taking over Superman wouldn't really necessarily excite me so much if it wasn't Tom Taylor. So there you go. Shazam's getting a new book, at least a 4-issue series. This one's spinning out of Teen Titans Academy because Billy Batson's going to be a part of the Teen Titans Academy. Maybe he's Red X. No, that would be so stupid. Anyway, it's a 4-issue series written by Tim Sheridan with artwork by Clayton Henry. I think Shazam deserves more than just a 4-issue series, kind of tie-in to Teen Titans Academy, but at least you're getting something, right? So, yay, Shazam fans. Blue and Gold is getting an 8-issue series, and this is going to be Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, the classic team-up. And it's going to be written by Dan Jurgens with artwork by Ryan Sook. So I'm actually really excited for this creative team. Usually when Booster and Blue Beetle are thrown together, it can be comedic, it can be hilarious, but it can also still be adventurous and still have a little bit of nuance is the wrong word, but just at least a semblance of it, right? I'm really excited for that. 8 issues, that starts in July from DC. Also, we got Justice League Infinity. It's going to be a 7-issue series physically. It's a digital first series, but it debuts I believe in July, but it's written by J.M. DeMatteis, James Tucker, who was an executive producer of the Justice League animated series, because this, just like the Batman The Adventures Continue, is a continuation of the Justice League cartoon. So that's really freaking cool, and I'm excited to check that out. We got a new DC Black Label book, Suicide Squad Get Joker, 3 issues, debuting in August, from writer Brian Azzarello and artist Alex Maleev. That's a hell of a team on an interesting enough book. It's the Suicide Squad, and their target is the Joker. So it's probably going to be like as close to the David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad that we'll maybe ever get, but I'm very excited. I'm a big fan of Alex Maleev's artwork, and Brian Azzarello's been doing some pretty top-notch work on his own here lately as well. The Conjuring, what did I write there? The Loner, the Lover? The Conjuring, the Lover. It says The Lover, I'm pretty sure. It's a new book from DC's new imprint, DC Horror. Well, they could have come up with a better name, but whatever. DC Horror. This is going to be the official prequel to the next Conjuring film. I've only seen the first one, really liked it. Now I'm going to jump in soon and explore the whole world, get ready for this launch, and be able to check out this book. It's got writing by, I believe, the screenwriters of The Conjuring 2 or something like that. Mother of Madness is a new miniseries debuting from Image Comics in July, and it's going to be written by Emilia Clarke and Marguerite Bennett, with artwork by Layla Lays. Emilia Clarke, of course, is, what's her name? Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, but she's apparently a comic book writer now. So Mother of Madness, which it spells out mom, so that's cool. Mother of Madness is about a part-time scientist, a part-time superhero, and a full-time mother. So that sounds interesting enough, and I thought people would definitely want to check that out. Ordinary Gods is a new one from Image Comics in July as well. This one's written by Kyle Higgins with artwork by Felipe Watanabe. The basic premise of this sounds a little bit like some other things we've seen, but it's basically these gods from another reality that get trapped in our reality and kind of imprisoned in these lives, and one of them has to rediscover their past lives and reunite the gods and save the universe or something like that. But it's a new one from Image, from Kyle Higgins, so you definitely want to pay attention to that. A new one from Vault in July. This one's called The Last Book You'll Ever Read. It's got artwork by Layla Lays and writing by Cullen Bunn. The basic premise of this book is about this woman who's written a book that got really popular and everybody read it, and it's just causing all this violence, all this destruction. The mood is changing. Things are shifting. The world's getting closer and closer to a doomsday scenario, and people blame her book for it, right? So she wants to go on a book tour, so she has to hire a bodyguard to protect her while she goes on this book tour, because people are literally just trying to kill her because they blame her for this apocalyptic or near apocalyptic situation they're getting into. And so the bodyguard has one rule: he can't read the book, because everybody that reads the book turns on the writer. So it's interesting enough. It's Vault, it's Cullen Bunn, so that's going to be pretty spectacular. From Dark Horse in July, we have Masters of the Universe Revelation. This is the official prequel to the upcoming Netflix animated series, which is going to be done mostly by Kevin Smith. So Kevin Smith and Rob David, who is the showrunner as well, creative director of the show, I believe, are working with Tim Sheridan and artist Mindy Lee on building up this bridge to lead us right up to the doorway of this new Masters of the Universe series, which I am supremely excited for. Black's Myth is a new one in July from Ahoy. It's written by Eric Palicki with artwork by Wendell Cavalcanti, and it's got covers by Liana Kangas, and it's about a private investigator who's also a werewolf. That's honestly all I need to know, and I'm already sold on it. That's at Ahoy in July. Then we have Fight Girls from AWA in July. This one's been in the works for over 2 years, I believe. It's the new Frank Cho book. It's a limited series. It's about an ancient contest of champions. So you're going to see a lot of what you expect from Frank Cho. You're going to see a lot of women in bikinis. You're going to see a lot of women doing badass things. You're going to see some cheesecake stuff, and it should also have a nice tongue-in-cheek quality to it. So if you're a Frank Cho fan, definitely definitely want to check that one out. And Red Sonja's jumping on the whole anthology parade. Red Sonja, Black, White, and Red debuts from Dynamite Comics in July, doing the whole thing right now. Batman Black and White, Superman Red and Blue, Carnage Black, White, and Blood, Wolverine Black, White, and Blood, Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red. Now we got Red Sonja, because why not? The first issue is going to have a story by Kurt Busiek, and it's actually Kurt Busiek's very first Red Sonja story. I'm very excited for that, because not only is Kurt Busiek one of my favorite writers in comic books history, he had a hell of a run on Conan when it started over at Dark Horse a little bit ago, just a little bit back in the day. Anyway, that's what we got for you this week. What's coming up here at PCP? Well, Rockin Robbie Live. That's right, Rockin Robbie Live on Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, but before that, tonight, Saturday night, at 7:05 Central Time. Join us for the Night of the Horror Show over at Dylan's Horror Show, link in the description below. Me, Jay Strick, and Bueller from Comics with Bueller are going to be celebrating Dylan's birthday. We're going to be talking about 3 fantastic 80s horror films that are all Night of the something, so Night of the Comet, Night of the Creeps, Night of the Demons. That's all tonight. Tomorrow night, Rockin Robbie Live. And then Tuesday night, the weekly comic book review. Always excited to do that show. Thursday night, we're going to have a special guest on the channel. Who is that? Actually, we're not. That should be the monthly wrap-up show over at Bueller's channel. No, yeah, that's right. But then, we're doing Mallrats over at PCP Movie Night, and then back here for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. Thank you so much for checking out the video. We appreciate all the support. Please do like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on living, reading, loving, and learning.